got a special speaker here today. Someone that's been affected by the policies of the RJ directly. Someone that's got a great story to tell you and something that's very important we all need to think about. Shab, come over here if you got a moment. I'm
After I'm done here, y'all can make all the noise you want. After this bus passes. When I first moved here in 1999, I walked in this building looking for a job. Naive me. By sheer coincidence, and I don't give a fuck if his name's dropping or not, but Oscar Goodman, the mayor, just happened to be walking by at the exact moment I was down the hall the day I came by looking for a job here. The editor told me, given your style, it'd be best if you wrote for an alternative paper. Naive me. I followed their advice. I went to the City Life. And what you sharks do, what you corporate raiders do, what you fucking pirates do, you bought it. Like it was a scene out of a Frank Capra movie. Like I'm Jimmy Stewart, you're Mr. Potter. I'm unemployed now, and I know you gratuitously coy, gratuitously snide, shaded, cynical motherfuckers are all sitting around in some cafe, sipping latte, and wallowing like a pig in slop in the irony of me having to look to your paper in the want ads for a job to replace the one that you stole from me. Prick. FAIR.org. Look it up. Do some research for a fucking change. FAIR. Fairness and Accuracy of Reporting. Been around for almost 20 years now. FAIR.org. Look it up and you'll find out what you won't admit. You must know yourselves. Look in the mirror. Less than a handful of corporations. 5 corporations own every major media outlet there is. What does that mean? Among many other things, it means y'all stinky asses have forfeited the right to talk any trash about any Stalinist outfit. From Stalin to Castro on down. I'm not a Stalinist. Unlike y'all motherfuckers, I'm against censorship, and given your coverage of this so-called war, I'm against the death penalty too, unlike y'all. I'm not a Stalinist, but I tell you what, I'm wearing Che Guevara's pin right now. I'm dressed as Captain Cuba to point out your hypocrisy. How dare you talk trash about Cuba when there's the Patriot Act? How dare you talk trash about not having free elections in Cuba when for the past 8 years we've had elections stolen by the Republicans right under our noses and y'all didn't say shit? Hypocrite! Straight out that motherfucking Bible, y'all. What's up? Well, the thing that kills me the most is the fact that 5 corporations own every major media outlet reaching the majority of the population that there is. 5 corporations own all the media in America, and y'all motherfuckers got the uneducated gall to talk trash about the concentration of media power in the former Soviet Russia. The pot cannot call the kettle black. Oh, I can't wait to see the City Life in the next 30 days, the next month, especially the letter section in the City Life ought to be a sight to see. Y'all will drag up every inbred missing from a Filipino colonist descendant, every white supremacist from the National Alliance, every libertarian capitalist, every apologist for imperialism, and y'all will have just a big old hold down shindig, won't you? every letter in the letter section for the next month, the City Life is going to read about these lines. All good Britain, thank God that commie nigga is gone, and so on. Do your worst. As far as I'm concerned, this is the last issue of the City Life that I will ever have anything to do with. Because even though next week it'll be called the City Life, it'll be the City Life in name only. And it ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with y'all. To paraphrase Spider-Man, with little power comes little responsibility. With medium power comes medium responsibility. And with great power comes great responsibility. Look around you. You are the biggest newspaper in the state. What does that mean? That means that with great power comes motherfucking great responsibility, bitch. That means that you have a responsibility to report the truth and not just be the PR arm of the Pentagon or the CIA. Saddam Hussein was hired by the CIA to take out the founder of OPEC. That's how he got his start.
That's enough speed. That's enough. That's enough.
Don't, man. Saddam Hussein, the man that your newspaper is hyped up like a pro wrestling promoter would hype up some supervillain, was a creation of all taxes in the early 60s. Do the research. Look it up. Write about something other than a fucking white tiger mauling a couple of gays and fish on stage for a fucking stage, huh? That's not newsworthy. That's not newsworthy.
That's enough.
Why is that enough? Let him speak.
Because that language is no good out
Let
there.
him speak. Keep going.
It only
All right.
profanity only
Would not be in the position that it's in were it not for the fact that the CIA helped him even after he failed to kill General Qasem in the early 60s. He could have hang up an armed embassy in Egypt and then turned around and came back to Iraq to finish the job. Rose to power, and that's all he wrote. You never report that. Every story you do on the war is completely bereft of that. So you're covering up. You are no different than the very folks that are causing all these human rights violations, all this torture, all this murder. At the very least, you're complicit because as the gay community is so right to say, silence equals death. And despite all that you claim to have written about, despite all that you claim to have done, you ain't done shite. Because once again, white tigers on the front page ain't journalism. You owe people quite a bit. All the times in which you could have reached the majority of the population with something else in substance, you failed miserably. You didn't even try. And the day of reckoning will be at hand. One last thing before I go. No matter what is said about me in the future, know this. I did your job for you at a time in which the First Amendment was most in peril. Michael Moore, Ted Rawls, Aaron Magruder, and writers like me did your fucking job for you.